Testing microphone 1, 2. Good morning, everybody, or should I say good afternoon? Yesterday was morning was evening, evening was evening, morning was this morning, and this afternoon is this afternoon, at least where I am. Um, let's see, I think that's good there. Yeah, good afternoon. Biff back with you again today. Um, we are, I don't need these on, I just use these to check the sound volume on Twitch, make sure that that was coming through. I don't need those on. Um, I will need these on though. I um I got new tires put on. Bought them like a month ago, and last week I was going to have them installed, and I was sick. That's why I wasn't streaming because I had a cold. And so had to reschedule for today. Had an appointment. Bought the tires at Costco. Had an appointment at 10 o'clock. There was one guy who was ahead of me. I was there right when they opened at 10. So there was actually a couple guys ahead of me. Neither of them had appointments. So you can set up an appointment at Costco Tire Center. The first guy, they said they would call him. Um, they would call him and let him know, like he was basically a walk-in, and so he was, if they had an opening, they would call him and let him know, yeah, we're putting your tire in the bay right now, or your car in the bay. Um, the next guy, I guess he had an appointment at like 10. Oh no, he had an appointment at like 12. And 12:15, something like that. And he was there at 10. I guess hoping maybe they could get him in early or something. And the guy told him, we'll be putting your car in the bay at 12 o'clock. He's like, okay, I'll call you when it's done. So then I went up there and I said, I got a 10 o'clock. This is my car. Here's my card. I bought the tires a few weeks ago. And he said, yeah, we can get your car right in there now. I looked in their bay area. There was no cars in there at all because they had just opened. But he said, we'll get your car in there right away. It should be done in about an hour. So I just went and walked around for an hour, looked at stuff, and he called me. The alarm, I set an alarm on my phone for an hour timer. It went off, and about 2 minutes later, he called me. Your car's done. I'm like, sweet. So that was nice. We're going to play Fields of Fire again today, but I'm going to look at, is there any deal? To see if there is. Anydeal.com. Looks like not at the moment. Not at least what I'm looking for. Beam NG Drive is still full price. Falcon Collection is still full price. So, yeah. So nothing there. And then I wanted to look at, well, let's open up VASSAL while I'm at it, while I'm here. Because I don't have that open yet. Got my Shakeology for today. My daily dose of dense nutrition. It's how they, I don't want to edit the module. No. Open the module. Go up here to open recent. We're starting turn 6. Loading up the save from last night. Begin a new log file. No. Okay. So let's get that going. But then I want to bop over here to Steam. See what's going on Steam. And we can come over here. We'll do desktop capture. And we should get Steam over here. I'm going to scroll down here to we're going to explore my discovery queue. La Quimera is a story-driven FPS, and I'm not a first-person shooter person at all. I'm not a first-person shooter person. I'm a non-first-person shooter person. Yeah, fractured world where microstates and all that stuff. I was looking up yesterday. You can Google it. There are, I think it said 59 active conflicts right now on Earth among 92 nations. So, of course, some will be one nation against another, and some will be like internally in the nation. But there are 59 conflicts right now on planet Earth. In this colorful action roguelite, Savara, participate in the festivities organized for the pleasure of the warrior god. Yeah, we're going to ignore that. Rail gods of Hystera. Embark on a co-op survival journey with 1 to 5 players through a post-apocalyptic Lovecraftian world. Now, see, I don't know if apocalyptic, if it's capitalized, means the end of everything. But my idea was the apocalypse means like the end. It's like, it's a it's a hyper catastrophic end to the world. But people seem to think there's going to be a post-apocalyptic world. Like after the apocalypse, after all the nuclear bombs go off and everything, there's going to be a world. After all the nuclear bombs go off, and there's how many years of nuclear winter, and the Earth is irradiated to the point where no life on it can survive. Maybe in 100, 150, 200, maybe 1,000, 5,000 years, maybe life will start to develop again. But that's my idea of apocalyptic. It's like you start pressing buttons and it's over, and there's no like the next day you come out of a, like in, or even 50, 100 years, you come out of a, like in Fallout. Nope, 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 nope. Apocalypse is apocalypse. Yeah, we're going to ignore that. I like trains, but I don't like post-apocalyptic trains. Captain Blood. Captain Blood is a pirate-themed action game where you play as a fearsome pirate seeking gold and glory. Expect adventures with cannon firing, pistol shooting, swashbuckling sword fights, and plenty of pirate shenanigans. I like that. It might be worth checking out just to see what the pirate shenanigans are. Oh, see, shooting that guy's head off? No, I don't think I'm going to buy that. I like shenanigans, though. But that, to me, that's not shenanigans. Hordes of Hunger is out now. It's an early access game. It has 32 positive reviews, and there's a negative one here. It's the outline of a game. Not an actual game. Some early access games feel like a third of a full product. This feels like a blueprint or alpha of a demo. Okay. We'll skip over that one. Teddy's Haven, a fantasy-inspired shop simulator. Teddy's Haven is a cozy shop simulator where you manage a magical store. Oh, there's a dragon there, looks like. Explore a whimsical world and master skills like stocking and harvesting. Enjoy shop customization, dynamic events, and a new game system. Join early access to help shape the game's future. All right. Gods versus Horrors. Let's skip that one. Together in Battle. Let's skip that one. The Monster Breeder. Skip that one. Magic Studies. Skip that one. Express Car Wash Simulator. Prologue. Skip that one. Quarantine Zone. Papers, Please meets Zombie Apocalypse. Command. Now, the zombie apocalypse, that's a different kind of apocalypse. But that seems like zombie apocalypse would seem like everybody is going to become a zombie eventually, right? And that would be the end of the world because nobody's going to go out and start planting food. And then how do zombies, I mean, do zombies need to like eat on a regular basis or they just like roam around? And I don't know. I'm not a zombie lore kind of person. I just like to speculate about stuff like that. Okay, this is my thing. That's my queue, some games in it. Now we're on to VASSAL. And we're going to skip over to, let's see if we can pull Adobe up. There it is. Okay. Here we have the game, Fields of Fire, the board game. And we are playing, let me get this out here. Okay, that's good, I think. It's just this covers, my window here covers this up a little bit. Was it 150? I think it's okay, though. I'll try to make sure that you can see what I'm reading and stuff when I am reading. I like it big so I can see it. Maybe if I leave this on, if I leave all tools on, it will make it, how's that? That's probably better. I'll just leave all tools on. And because it pushes it over here. I'll leave all tools on, put that out to 150. This one, I don't think we're going to really be following. I might read it through and maybe just highlight some stuff because I think this is old. It does say in here at one point, let me see. I think it might be in the second turn. I should make a note of it. It's over in this column here. Yeah. What turn is this? Turn 3. I think this was written a while ago. This is because the current edition of the rules is 3rd edition. And I think this is written probably about 10 years ago. Because here it says, because you do not have to expend all of one HQ's commands before using commands from another HQ, we will draw for each of the 3 activated leader commands before we spend any. That's not in the 3rd edition rules. The 3rd edition rules specifically say that you have to activate a command and then they have to use the commands that they want to use or save whatever commands they want to use. Then you go to the next HQ. You can't like activate 2 HQs at a time, draw for commands for each HQ, and just flip back and forth. Okay, I'm going to move this. I'm going to command this squad to go up here, and then the other HQ, I'm going to command this squad to go over here, and then go back to the first one. And you can't do that. That is in the rules. And I think I have that actually on my I have that up here. Four 4.1. So let's look at the rules for 4.1. That is going to be on page 18. So we're going to go over here, click here, page 18. Commands. During the friendly command phase, HQs receive commands. The friendly command phase in the sequence of play represents how these commands flow down the chain of command as orders from higher to lower, from battalion to company, from company to platoon. HQs are either activated by their higher HQ, issued an order to carry out the activate action, or they have to act on their own initiative. Headquarters that are activated by their higher headquarter tend to have more commands than those taking the initiative because you use two different, use one type of draw on the card. You draw the same type of card, but you draw one type of draw, and the other one you use a different number. So I'll show you. All commands must be used or saved during the impulse in which they are received. That is, a company headquarters command cannot be used during the platoon headquarter impulse. You choose the order that platoon headquarters or company staff draw for commands in the impulse they are activated or in the initiative impulse. When a headquarters or staff draws for commands, it must use, save, or lose the excess before another headquarters or staff draws. This is the basic training manual, and it's got a really good, first of all, it shows you this here. Battalion HQ activates the company headquarters. That's what these double lines mean. Now, the company headquarters can activate or give other orders to its subordinate headquarters. The company executive officer, the first sergeant, it can activate them or it can give them commands. It's more efficient to activate. If you give, for example, say the company HQ has 3 commands. He got 3 commands from battalion. He can use those commands to tell the first platoon to do a squad move up here or do this or that. He could tell the first platoon, hey, HQ to drop smoke, or he could tell the second squad of the second platoon to move. But what he can also do is he can also activate the second platoon and give it its own set of commands. So, for example, if the I'll show you in the game. It's probably easier just to show you in the game. But it's got this nice little command display thing here, which shows you how the commands are tracked. And I'll be referring back to this. So we are in the game. We're on turn 6. This is our command display. So you can see here, maybe I'll make that a little bit bigger. And then I'll just scroll it. So you can see here, the company HQ is waiting to be activated. First platoon is waiting to be activated. The executive officer waiting to be activated. The first sergeant has 4 saved commands. He had his saved commands from last turn. Second platoon has 4 saved commands. Third platoon has 5 saved commands. So I'm going to drag this down here. We're going to zoom in on this one. I think I might want to do that later. You can see our current situation. We're the Americans. We're up against the Germans. So we have a mortar spotter, which has called in mortar fire against our squad. And this, actually, what do we have here? We have two fire teams because I guess one became a casualty last. No, it was a two-step squad, and so they took 3 incoming, and they got hit. And the two-step squad broke up into two fire teams. This one is interesting because this group came up as just a squad of Germans that was randomly selected. Squad of Germans. They were just walking down this road, and this unit here spotted them. But at that time, the Germans hadn't spotted our group yet. I guess maybe our group's undercover. And so they came onto the map exposed, which means they get a -2 to the combat, which hurt them. And they were under automatic weapons fire from down here. So that's a -1. So they had -1, -2, which is -3, and only a +1. So we drew on the -2. We drew on the -2 on this column here to determine if it's a hit, a pin, a miss, and they got hit, and they got pinned by that hit. So, and then we have this team over here, which is under a primary direction of fire and a small arms VOF from this hill over here, this woods on this hill. So I've got a level 2 woods. I've got a level 2 church building. I think I'm going to keep, like I said last time, I think I'm going to keep the first sergeant and the machine gun and the artillery observer in the church to try to call, because the artillery observer and the machine gun would be able to target because they have elevation advantage of +2. This is elevation 0. Oh no, this is elevation 1. This is elevation 1. So that they can see over this hedgerow. Of course, they can see through the open fields. So they can see to our second objective, which is this right here. They can see to our first objective, to right here. So probably what we should do is, oh, that's what I needed to do first thing. Rules. First thing. What are we going to do the first thing? We're going to look up rules. Because when this came on the map, it was under a PDF from here and from here. This is primary direction of fire. So I need to know which way he's going to go with his fire. Because when he came on the map, I do that first. When he came on the map, I'm on the wrong one. Sorry. When he came on the map, it just says that he's maneuvering, squad mark exposed. We've determined where the squad should be placed. Did it have a VOF placed towards us? No. he did not have a line of sight to us. He didn't get. We weren't exposed. We did get exposed by him at the end of the turn, and then he was spotted, so he was. Were able to get fire down on him. Um, all units must be placed where they can open fire on the U.S. unit that triggered the package. Now, what I'm trying to find out is where does he fire? Because there's two potential units to fire at him. I think probably what's going to happen is, let's go to Google. Let's go out to Google. Let's go out to Google. Yeah, we're going to go to Google. Okay. Fields of fire. I've got basically, I've already got fields of fire typed into Google search engine. Fields of fire. When a unit in enemy is brought is do this one here. Yeah, it's interesting because there's a couple clarifications and questions in here from 2009. The game was developed about 16, 17 years ago. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to assume that he's going to fire at the closest unit to him, basically the unit that triggered that being put on the board. So that I'm going to assume that he sees these guys like right away. And then in the enemy activity phase, he may shift fire down here because he can also see the units on this card through this open field. But for now, we'll just leave him set up the way it is. All right, so what do we have to do first? We have to open up our sequence of play, which is like the bones of the game right here. The game is built on this. If you're not following the sequence of play closely, it'll come back to bite you. So let me get this opened a bit more over this way. Okay. So we're going to do the friendly higher HQ event phase. Starting on turn 2, we're on turn 6. So we're going to draw an action card. If the HQ icon is present, which is actually the HQ icon is a radio symbol. The radio symbol is the radio symbol shows up down here. It's like a walkie-talkie symbol. So we're going to draw one of those, and there's nothing there, so we don't have a HQ event. We're not in a defensive mission, so we skip over 3.2, and we skip over this one for civilian action phase. We come down to the friendly command phase. So the battalion HQ is going to activate the company HQ. And the way we do that, if the battalion HQ is not on the map, which it's not, activate the company HQ. The way we do that is we come over here to the command table. We flip the HQ's counter over to commands available, and then we draw a card. Now we have to determine where the company HQ is. Oh, I'm just going to close these real quick. It's easy enough to open them back up again. Okay, this is the company HQ. He's undercover, so he actually gets one more command than what he pulls here. 4, he gets 5. So we are going to give him 5 commands over here. And now he is going to spend those commands to activate platoons. Like I said, he could just say, I want this squad here to move over here. Or he could activate the second platoon. He could activate the second lieutenant of the second platoon, first lieutenant, I don't know. He could activate the leader of the second platoon headquarters and give him a certain number of orders, just like we drew here. And then the second platoon headquarters can order this squad to move over here. So you can see how potentially, if the company HQ activates all of the commands here, you can see how potentially you could convert 5 orders into potentially 15 to 20 orders. Now, the company HQ can just give out 5 orders, or he can activate the other commands and give them their own set of orders, drawing on this right here. It's the larger number during the activation segment, and that's the most efficient way to do it. So he is going to activate all of them. So we're going to activate and that's going to be activate first, second, third, first sergeant, and the XO. I think because the third platoon has 5 commands to use. Third platoon wants to move up in here. He's got 5 commands. The third platoon could do a for 2 commands, 2 orders, he could order a platoon move and move everyone up here to join the second squad. But now that could also mean that this mortar spotter shifts fire to over here. And that would be a bad day. So we know we want second platoon, because we want second platoon. We know we want first platoon. We want first platoon to come up here. Trigger that contact marker right there, that potential contact. Trigger that. So we're going to activate first platoon. And then also, we're going to activate first platoon. We've got to do this. We got to flip it. He's activated. And then who's in this one? The company XO. We might as well activate the company XO since he's over there. See, what we want to do is we want to flank. This is our second objective. Let's see, 1250. So what we want to do is we want to flank. So we're moving this way up here to try to flank the farmhouse. And then this is our attack point. So I know I want these guys activated. I don't want to move anybody else into this because there's incoming fire marker and they can't see out of this right here. So probably what I'm going to do is Let's activate the second platoon, get him some more orders, and we're going to move this squad up here to try to spot. Oh, this squad actually can spot, but I need somebody to order. So what we're going to do is we're going to order the first platoon. I don't think he's going to do a whole platoon move though. Uh, so let's give him some orders. Activate him. Second platoon. So now we've activated first platoon, EXO, second platoon. Let me just think we might as well just activate the rest of them because I'm going to be moving some of third platoon over here on this hill to keep up this fire. To keep up this fire on this unit over here in the there's a German one-step team over here. Keep fire down on them. So right now, yeah, this would get a automatic weapons VOF marker from this guy here. Okay, let's go. We might as well just activate all of them, and hopefully we don't have to waste any commands because we can only save 6 commands. We can actually only use the maximum spend limit in normal visibility, which we are in, is 6, and we can only save up to 6. So let's just activate everybody else since we have the commands. We're going to activate third platoon. We're going to activate first there, and then we're going to activate first sergeant. So that was 5. That was the number of commands that he had. So now we're going to activate first platoon, HQ, and draw commands for him. So let's sequence a play. All right, we've done the friendly command phase. The battalion has activated this company headquarters. The company headquarters has activated his commands below him. And now we're into the platoon HQ and company staff impulse of the activation segment of the friendly command phase. So now we're going to activate all of these, give them commands to carry out, but we do it one at a time. So first we're going to activate first platoon, and he gets 3 commands. He's undercover, so he actually gets 4 commands. Because if you're undercover, you get +1 command. So I don't think we want to do a platoon move up here because we don't know what we're going to generate. Could be another volume of fire, could be another incoming marker with another mortar spotter, could be a machine gun nest over here that's just going to blast us. Any fire coming from this hex across here would get the +1, not the +2. So let's send. We don't have a VOF marker on either of these here. So let's send third squad, first platoon, and then he's going to be marked. I don't see why. Why does it do that? I didn't do pin. I did Control F. No, Control X. Exposed. It was my fault. So that's the first command that first platoon is going to issue. I could do second squad up here. Do I want to try to trigger both of them? I've got 5 turns left. I've got 5 turns left to complete the scenario. I get a total of 10 turns. Anybody here? Nope. I got to send out a message though. Greetings and salutations. All right. Got 3 commands left. Do I want to trigger this one also? We'd get if I move this unit up here, we would get a volume of fire on this. Actually, we do have a volume of fire on there. No, we don't because it's unspotted. So I need to spot those guys. So let's move. Yeah, let's move second platoon up here, or second squad up here. And mark him exposed. That is 2 commands. And I think we'll just save 2 more. Okay, now second platoon, we don't want to move up in here. This incoming marker shows that we cannot spot anything out of this. We can't see out of this hedgerow because of all the smoke, dirt, dust, fire, explosions that are being kicked up by this mortar, these incoming mortars. The CO is going to have to come up here. I can find another area of cover on the card, but the CO is going to have to come up here to order this unit to try to spot. I can try to spot with this one in the general initiative phase, but he can't do that until then because there's no one here to give him the order to try to spot. So I think what we're going to do is we send the platoon up here. Platoon's going to get under cover. Actually, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to send the platoon HQ up here, and we're going to try to infiltrate because it's on a volume of fire. So we're going to draw 2 cards. We're looking for a kind of like 3 guys sneaking around down here in the middle of the card. 1, 2. Did not get it. So he is marked exposed. Oh, you know what? I can't do that first. He's going to go up there, get marked exposed, but first I have to move you up there because the platoon HQ has to be down here in order to give the command to the third squad, second platoon to go up here. So now the second platoon can come up here, but he's coming up here. We're going to expose him, and he's going undercover. He's coming up here at the command first of the second platoon, and he's going to check to see if he can infiltrate onto that card. He cannot, so he is also marked exposed, but he's not going undercover. So that is second platoon. Did we draw cards? No, we didn't. So stupid. I skip right over the most important parts because I look here and I go, oh, he's already got commands. Oh, no. I have to draw commands. So let's go back 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. And okay, this card, 1, 2, 3. This card is the one that would have been drawn for commands for the second platoon. They get 3. They were undercover, so they get 4. They go out here. Now, neither one of them, and I'm just going to use these cards here. We're just going to say neither one of them, but the HQ moved under the cover. Neither one of them found cover. I'm just going to mark them exposed. That's my fault for jumping ahead of the rules. So now he's used 2 commands, one to move this squad up here and one for himself to move up here. Now he's going to order this squad here to try to find, to spot this unit right here. Okay. We're going to use the spotting attempt draw modifiers chart. Now, if I want to go for broke, I could have him order this squad that's undercover. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to have him order this squad up here to try to spot this unit here. I don't know if that will really help me or not. He's exposed. No, he can actually attempt, because he's moving off of a VOF card, he can actually attempt to infiltrate. So he will do that. 2 cards. He successfully infiltrated, so he's not marked exposed. But now he can't spot because he doesn't have anybody up there to give him the command to spot. So that was what? That was another order that does update this to we are now heavily engaged. And the way we find that out is by coming up here and looking at the enemy activity, enemy contact. Heavily engaged is engaged, and at least one of the cards has both enemy and friendly units on it. So we're at the engaged level because engaged is 2 cards have VOF markers on them, 2 occupied cards have VOF markers on them, and one of the cards. So that was engaged. Now to become heavily engaged, one of the cards has to have both friendly and enemy units on it. I don't know why I'm not really explaining it really well. I thought I had a really good stream yesterday where I explained things pretty well. But today I'm kind of tripping over my words and stuff. Let's close this for now. So now we're going to order the 3rd squad, 2nd platoon, to try to spot this unspotted mortar spotter. The spotting recipient is, no, that applies to us. The target card has +2 on it, so it's not +3 and it's not 0, so that doesn't get modified. The target is undercover and a forward observer, so that's -2. And none of these apply. So we get to draw at least one card. Minimum is 1. So we're going to draw a card. This is the 3rd platoon. They're going to draw a card. The 3rd squad, 2nd platoon. They're going to draw a card. And that order is being given by the 2nd platoon HQ. So we're going to give that. We're going to move this down here. We are looking for a target reticle here. You know what I want to do before I do that? 2nd platoon HQ, that order that I just gave him to spot, he's instead going to, no, I don't need to do that. I'll just do the spotting first. I want to look for cover also, but okay, let's do the spotting. We already issued the order. He did not find it. So now the 2nd platoon HQ can exhort the 3rd squad. Come on, you got the binoculars. Try to find him. Draw another card. We don't find him. The 2nd platoon HQ is going to try to spot. Let's see if they spot him. They don't. Can't exhort himself. So that's it. But with his last, 2nd to last order, he's going to order the squad to look for cover. The way you look for cover is, here's the number of cards that you draw. There's 2 total additional areas of cover on this card. And so we already have 1 here. You know what? We already have the cover here. I'll still order him to try to find cover. We draw 4 cards. We're looking for the word cover up here. 1, we found it. 2, 3, got it. Reshuffle. 3, 4. Okay, now we reshuffle. So we found cover for the squad. The reason that's important is because cover can safely hold 3 steps. Anything more than 3 steps, and the volume of fire marker starts decreasing. So for example, if this squad was undercover with this 1-step platoon HQ, that would be 4 steps. That's 1 over the maximum. So then this VOF would become a -2 against the units under this cover. So that's why you don't want to overstack in cover. And, you know, if I'm making mistakes, which I know I am, it's inevitable. You can message me on my YouTube channel, Biff Gimbal. You can message me at X at Biff Gimbal. Or you can just come in the channel and just tell me what I'm doing wrong. I'm going to try to get through this turn before 2 hours. Because we still got stuff we need to do. So let's recap that turn, or that move. We move the 3rd squad up here. We move the HQ up here. We told the HQ to, we told the 2nd squad move up there. He successfully infiltrated. Those are all 1 orders, so that's 3 orders. The 4th order was to try to spot. The 5th order was to exhort him to try to spot. The 6th order was to have the HQ try to spot. And then the 7th order was to have the squad look for cover. So I think we have 1 order left. 2nd platoon comes down here. They've got one saved order. We're deactivating them. Oh, you know what? We're also deactivating first platoon because we already did their stuff over here. So now we're going to activate third platoon. Third platoon is over here on this side. And I know I want to move a squad over here. I think I'm just going to avoid this field. I think we'll do a platoon move. So third platoon's activated. We're going to draw a card to see how many orders he gets. Gets 3. He's under cover. Right there. He gets 4 on top of his 5. He gets 9 orders. The first one's going to be a platoon move. We're going to move the whole platoon, including these guys, except for the artillery observer. He is also part of the platoon, so we're not going to do a platoon move because I don't want to move him. We are going to move these 3 squad, at least one squad. We're going to leave the machine gun here. And, okay, so we're going to move first squad. We're going to have you move over here. And you're exposed. That's one order. I'm not going to move the mortar out of the woods because, or I'm not going to move the mortar into the woods because the mortar can't fire out of the woods. What I should do, oh, okay, my company commander can order these guys here, but he's not going to do that because he doesn't have any orders left. I'm bringing over my third platoon lieutenant, but he cannot order the second platoon units. These are second platoon, but I could bring my first sergeant over and he could. Or I can actually order them. I can actually order them in the general initiative phase. So we're giving an order to the anti-tank weapon to come over here. That's the second order. I'm going to mark him exposed. I think we're going to order second platoon to come, second squad to come over. That's third order. He gets exposed. And we're going to do third also. Exposed. You know what? No, I don't want to use third. Do that again. So he's ordered anti-tank first, second squad. So we're down to 6. I want to leave him here in case something pops up here or here. In fact, so that we can get, if we do move the machine gun, we can get some volume of fire down on a card. I'm going to leave him here because he can't fire in the woods anyways. The artillery observer is up in the second story of the church tower. So he's got field of fire all the way down here, all the way over here. And the machine gun and the first sergeant are going to stay here. So the third platoon, HQ, he's going to move over here also. He will become exposed. Now, so when this squad here that has the they've got a VOF of small arms, which was over here. This actually went away because there was no one firing over here, but it came back because now we do have squads over here that are going to be firing over there. So we didn't adjust it. We should have adjusted it or could have adjusted it, but we didn't because I knew we were going to be moving units over there anyway. We're going to moving these guys over here anyway. So because we're trying to move this way to flank. Okay, so that is 3rd platoon done. 1st sergeant is just going to bag his commands. Now, see, 1st sergeant can give commands to 3rd platoon. He can give commands to the 3rd platoon, which includes the ARTI forward observer. So he can actually command the ARTI forward observer to put fire down, like here, which is, I think, what we'll do. So last turn we had a higher headquarter event where there was no artillery fire available. So the artillery forward observer just sat there. It didn't do anything. Okay, so we're going to try to call in fire on this squad up here. And that will change this to a -4. So if we come up here to the artillery battalion, the forward observer, their HE is a -5. And the artillery gets to draw 3 cards. So we didn't draw cards yet for the 1st sergeant, so let's draw a command card. He's undercover. And he got 4, he got 5. Man, drawing good numbers. So the sergeant here is going to order the artillery forward observer to bring down fire on this squad here. And then that's going to be 3 cards, and we're looking for a blast symbol right here. 1, 2, 3. Nothing. So that failed, but let's see if we can exhort. If the 1st sergeant can exhort the forward observer. Come on, call in some artillery. Command. Exhort. Any HQ or staff unit that just failed an attempt. For any failed attempt, draw 1 more action card. Okay, well, let's exhort him to do that because we'd like to put some fire down on that squad. So, exhorted. Consider yourself, artillery forward observer, consider yourself exhorted. And they didn't do it. So disappointed in you. Now, he can command the mortar to fire up there also. And I believe that is 2 cards that are drawn. The artillery forward observer got 3 cards. Now the company HQ, we don't have the company HQ up here. This is just the 1st sergeant. But he can order the mortar to fire up there. So let's do that. He failed. The artillery forward observer failed his attempt to call and fire. We exhorted him to try again. He could not get command on the radio to drop fire down here. And so that was 2 commands that were issued by the first sergeant, who's right in there. So now what he's going to do, he's going to tell the mortar team, let's try to hit this target right here. And the mortar team is also drawing a blast. And we're going to look that up under grenade, which is, again, try to remember these numbers. 7.5. Oh, look at that. Mortar teams, mortar sections. Mortar units cannot fire at point blank range, and you may not have them fire from building, bunker, cave, or pillbox cover. They're not. They're just out in the open. They cannot fire at all if marked when exposed marker. They can never use infiltration movement. Both friendly enemy mortar teams are capable of firing through dire. They're capable of firing through cards occupied by their own troops without hitting them. They may not fire from certain terrain, such as woods, jungle, as noted in the campaign instructions. So they're firing across this open field here, and they actually have long range. They have long range grenade fire. So we're going to come back here, and when firing direct lay, the H-rated mortar, you're not H-rated. It is considered a grenade attack. Grenade attack refers to any attack from a G-rated weapon. It represents the use of hand grenades and close assaults, but they're also where an explosive projectile is fired at the target. So, this is a G-rated, grenade-rated right here. And this orchard would generate a -1 against. So this -1, this +1 would offset each other. They are pinned, so they get a +1. It doesn't. Grenades stack with each other, but they don't stack with other VOFs. Direct a grenade attack at one specific unit, cover, or stack units. Any infantry with a spot, they attempt to make a grenade attack. A unit with a G VOF or G superscript above a different VOF rating may attempt to make a grenade attack out to its printed range. Range grenade attacks will follow cards PDF exists. 2 cards. We're using grenades. We're using the -4 according to the nope, that's not it. This is the thing here. Special orders. U.S. and German grenade attacks both use a -4 volume of fire. So what we have to do is we have to draw 2 cards, and we have to get that blast symbol on them. No, we have to get the grenade symbol. I might have been doing that wrong. So this is considered a grenade, even though it's a mortar. So we have to get the grenade symbol up here. So 2 cards, 1, 2, was not successful. First sergeant's going to exhort. So we had artillery fire, artillery spotter, and then exhort artillery spotter. Now we have mortar and then exhort mortar. Didn't get it. Okay, well, that guy is safe, except for this fire here and the machine gun down here. Um, that's it. Tried both of them. Couldn't get any results. So he is back on 5 commands. He can save 6. There's really nothing else I want him to do down here except maybe kick these guys in the derriere. Okay, we're going to flip him. He's deactivated. And then we're going to activate the EXO and draw commands for the EXO. The EXO, I believe, is undercover down here. No, that's a company HQ. The EXO is undercover over here. And so he gets to draw a command and add 1 to it. 3, he gets a 4. He gets 4 commands. Is there anything he wants to do with his commands? I said maybe just save them. I think we're just going to have him save him. Not really a lot he can do from that spot. We need to resolve these up here. So we have been through the whole platoon HQ company impulse. Now we're down here to the initiative segment. If the company HQ is not activated, it was, so we skipped that. If the platoon HQs weren't activated, or one of them wasn't activated, then we could draw for orders here. And when we drew for orders, they would use the smaller number. So in the activation segment, they use draw commands and use the larger number. During the initiative segment, since it's their own initiative, they're not getting commands from higher up. They use the smaller number. Everyone was activated. So we go into the general initiative impulse. We draw a card. We get 3 general orders that we can use to order any of our troops to do something. I have an idea what I want to do. I want to try to find this guy. They can't exhort themselves, so we actually potentially have those 3 to try to find. We have the 3 attempts to try to find, to unspot or spot the spotter. We're playing the Spot the Spotter game. Welcome to the Spot the Spotter game. Turn that off. Where's my phone at? My phone's at 79%. Yay! My phone's at 79%. This morning, we're going to do this. This morning, I woke up and we have blackout curtains in our bedroom. I woke up and I could tell just kind of out of the corner of my eye there was some light out there. We normally get up at I normally have an alarm set for 6:15, and then I get up and I go to the bathroom. I go in my daughter's room, try to wake her up and get her out of bed. And this morning, so I wake up, I can kind of see out of the corner of my eye. There's some light coming in there, so I figured, well, and then I grab my phone to see what time it is, because I'll stay in bed till 6:15. If it's 6 o'clock, I'll stay in bed till 6:15. And so I grab my phone, I press the button to bring up the screen. Nothing happens. Come on, phone, come on. Press the button again, nothing happens. I hold the phone down, it comes up. It's at 0. There's no power on the phone. I'm like, what? So I set it back down on the charger. And I think for a split second, I thought, well, I'm just going to lay back down again. That would have been a mistake. So I get up to go to the bathroom. I look at the clock in the bathroom. Normally, like I said, we're up at like between 6:15 and 6:30. And I go in the bathroom. I look at the clock. It's 20 minutes till 7. I'm like, oh man. So my phone was dead, which happens maybe twice in the last, what, 2, 3 years. My phone's dead. So the alarm didn't go off at 6:15 or at 6:30. So I'm like, oh man. So I quick go to the bathroom. I get up, I go in my daughter's room. Thankfully, she was already awake. She was sitting on the toilet in her room. So I said, come on, honey, we got to get going. It's my alarm didn't go off. And so she was really agreeable this morning. And sometimes when trying to get her out of bed, she's not agreeable at all to that. But she was already up. She was on the toilet. She was reading a book like she does. She likes to read on the toilet. And we got up and everything. Normally, we're leaving the house at about 20 after 7. So we had about 40 minutes and got her a quick breakfast, cereal breakfast, got upstairs, got dressed, got all of her stuff. We actually got out of the house. We got out of the house on time. So I'm very thankful for that. I'm thankful that the Lord woke me up. You better see what's going on because what's going on is not what you think is going on. I'm like, man. So, um, hang on one second though. I will be right back. There's a couple things I have to do real quick. I'm going to put you into my Be Right Back music screen, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Thanks for watching, guys. Here we are back in the game. Looks like we have 3 attempts at spotting. We're going to use this unit to spot. We're going to use this unit to spot. We're going to use this unit to spot. The spotting chart is for this unit. The spotting recipient, the one getting the order to try to spot, is not green, not veteran, and not on a higher elevation. You know what? What I should do is, let me think this out again. Oh, I can't see. Oh, I can't see. I could actually use one of these. I could use a second platoon, a second squad, third platoon to attempt to spot because they're on a higher elevation. They can see over this hedgerow, bocage, down into this card. So they would actually be a +1. The mortar spotter's -2, undercover and a forward observer. He doesn't get any modification from cover because he's not under 3 or more cover, and he's not under 0 cover. So in between that, there's no modification. So we're going to try with him. So he still gets 1 card. He gets 1 card draw. It doesn't matter, I guess. Let's just, since it doesn't matter, um, they're all going to get just 1 card draw because of this -1, -1. So I'm basically going to get 3 draws, 3 tries at this. So let's see if we can spot him. We're looking for it's the reticle. We're looking for the crosshairs symbol. There's 1, 2, we got it. 3, we got it twice. So he is spotted. Now what that does, that changes everything. Now I want to make sure that I did that right, so I'm going to come back over here. We're going to go into here. The more I do this, the more comfortable I feel with it. Spotting the enemy, page 65. Yeah, we already did all this. Card can never tame both spotted and unspotted enemy units. If an unspotted unit is ever on a card with a spotted unit, then the unspotted unit immediately becomes spotted. Crosshairs icon. Yep. Okay. Oh, you know what? I did not need to do that last one because I got the attempt right here. But I'll just consider that I used up that last command. Actually, I'm not going to consider I use that last command because what I want to do is I want to order him to try to find contact or a cover. He can't. There's only 1 extra cover on this card. I could order him to find cover. So let's do that. Draw 3 cards. Actually, could order him to find cover because there's actually 4 cards that they can draw. So that would be the first one. There's no cover on that one. Cover, 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 no cover. So that's all 3 commands. But we did get this guy spotted. So what that does, that changes VOFs, PDFs, all that stuff. So now what's going to happen is that this has small arms on it. This has a small arms VOF now. And I believe that it's from this unit right here. This unit does not have a inherent volume of fire. It doesn't have weapons, basically. He's just up there with a pair of binoculars and a radio. So we're going to put a PDF right here. He's shooting at these guys. This would also be small arms fire. This would be small arms fire here. This would be small arms fire here. But we're just going to take the one from the card. The one that's on the card. So let's go to sequence of play. That was the general initiative impulse, which I did fudge a little bit because I'm a noob and it's my game, so sue me. Just kidding. I don't want you to sue me. Enemy Higher HQ event segment. We're going to draw a card and see if there is a radio symbol down here. If there's an event, and there is. Yay. So we're going to find out. We're going to draw a random card on the, oh, sorry. You guys missed all that, didn't you? Okay, so what we did was we told this unit, this squad here, third squad, second platoon, to try to spot. We chose second squad, try to spot. We told second squad, first platoon, try to spot. Well, the second card came up, he was spotted. So now this mortar spotter spotted. I used my third command, which I was gonna, you need to do them one at a time. My third command, I told this unit to try to find cover, did not find cover. So now because of this, because this unit's not spotted, or this unit is now spotted, we put a PDF down and a volume of fire marker down on this card. And then these guys will also be firing in here. Unless I can give an order, hopefully they won't hurt my... Well, they actually are going to have PDFs. I'm going to clone this, drag this over here, flip this one. I'm going to clone this. No, because we're not going to clone this one because this unit's already firing over here. But these guys will be firing up there. They will have small arms fire going up there. So we're going to clone this one. Hopefully we don't do too much damage to this squad here. Because basically as soon as this was spotted, they have a line of sight and a range, they're firing. They have a line of sight and range, they're firing. These guys are already firing on this card over here. I don't know if that's the case though, because yeah, I think it is. I moved these guys up here before I gave him the order to move. So I'm not sure. When these guys came up here, they immediately started firing on this unit. And then when he moved out of here, I guess I would have had to give him an order to cease fire, right? Tell him to cease fire so that he could move up here and then acquire a new target, I guess. Oh, we need to find out what the oh, wrong one. We have to find out what the enemy activity thing is. Enemy Higher HQ events. We're on turn 6. We're going to draw a card. We're going to look under the number 10 and see what that card is. It's a 1. What is a 1? Under turn 6, a 1 or a 2, evacuate casualties. All casualties and non-U.S. occupied cards are removed. Okay. Non-U.S. occupied cards. So what we're going to do is we're going to drag this guy over here because I might get credit for that at a later time. Those are the only casualties on non-U.S. occupied cards. Now, we're going to come down to the enemy activity segment. Enemies firing cards without valid targets. Okay, so we're going to determine this randomly from left to right, top to bottom. So we have one enemy, we have two enemies, we have three enemies, and then that's it. So now we're going to draw a card and we're going to look under the 3 and see which one we resolve first. And that's number 3. So that's going to be this guy over here, who is under a small arms volume of fire. And we are in the heavily engaged section of the game. He's under small arms VOF. He's a +1. He's not under cover. This cover was here, but he has not been ordered to get under cover, or his activity has not told him to get under cover. So he is a +1. He's a +2. And so we're going to pull a card and look on +2. +2, he's pinned. He's already pinned. He stays pinned. Now we're going to draw another card. 1, 2. 2 is 2, so we're going to resolve this card here. He is under. We couldn't get any successful artillery in there. We couldn't get any successful mortar in there. So he is under a negative. He's on the automatic fire from this machine gun right here. And he is exerting automatic fire over here, which we will get resolved. But he is at a +1 for being pinned, +2 for being in the orchard, -1 for the automatic weapons. And what I should have done is I should have told my sergeant is try to concentrate fire. Oh, he didn't have any. He did, my first sergeant. I should have told him to tell the machine gunner to try to concentrate fire, which would give an additional -1 here. Actually, you know what I haven't been doing? This guy is under crossfire. So it is an additional -1 because he's being shot at from 2 different directions. He's being shot at this way. He's being shot at this way. And this card will also have a crossfire marker on it because they're being shot at like 10 different ways. Unfortunately, that's true for my platoon guy down here too. Okay, so this is a +1, a +2, a -1, a -2. So that is a draw on the 0 thing here, and we are getting a hit. So now this is a 3-step German like a, I don't know, some type of a assault group or something, but they're 3 steps. So what we do, and they are line. So what we do is we draw another card. We look under line, and there is a PC result, which is not going to be good for them. A PC result is going to result in a 1 step is turned into a paralyzed unit. 1 step is a casualty. So there's a casualty here. There's a casualty here. Paralyzed here. This guy is still pinned, but now he's a fire team. He's no longer a squad. He's a fire team. And he is only 1 step. The other 2 steps are basically out of the game. So the next one to resolve, we resolved this one. He stayed pinned. This one got blown up, basically. The next one to resolve is the forward observer, the mortar spotter. So he's got a VOF of 0, small arms fire, and -1, but a +2. So we're going to be drawing him +3. No, these two offset. So +1, plus 2 is 3, minus 1 is 2. I'm not sure how fire is resolved on the same card. So let's try to find that out. How is combat resolved on the same card? Multi-step process. Units engage in combat, potentially get hit or pinning other units in the combat phase resolves engaged clean damage. Oh, you know what? I didn't do. Come on, man. I didn't do the I didn't do the. Did I do the enemy activity phase? I didn't. That's why I have this thing open down here. I'm not in the combat phase. What the heck am I doing? I'm not in the combat phase. We're gonna do. He was pinned, so we're gonna leave him pinned. I'm gonna leave these up here. I might have to try to reconstitute this guy, or else I will just grab a new squad. What if I try to flip him? Doesn't work. I don't know. How did I get into the combat phase? I'm resolving the combat phase already, and I'm not in the combat phase. I'm resolving the enemy activity phase. Oh, brother. Embarrassing. So let's resolve the enemy activity phase for these guys. Charts and orders. I'm not even going to look at those cards. What happened? Okay. I think it was this guy, then this guy, and then the mortifier. All right. So we are doing the enemy activity phase for a pinned unit, which is going to be this list right here. There's no leader in the hex. What we do is we find the first thing that applies. Pinned on same card as an opposing unit. No. Pinned on same card. No. Pinned, not under cover. That is the first one that applies. So we're going to draw a card and look under the 5. He is pinned. He's not under cover. We're going to draw a card under 5. 5 is a 2. Pinned, not under cover. A 2 is no action. I think that's the same thing that happened last time. There was no action. So let me show you again. We are doing this card over here. Not this card, this unit. He is pinned. Now, we actually resolved combat against him because I somehow got jumped down. I skipped, even though the arrow is right here, I skipped all the way down to combat because I'm excited to get to combat. Try to win this or lose it. No, brother. I can get this stuff cleaned up when I go start playing the campaign. So what we did is in the combat, he was pinned. So he's still pinned. And so now we're just saying, no, we didn't do combat. We are in the enemy activity phase. So he is an enemy LAT or pinned unit. We the first thing that applies to him is he's pinned but not under cover. So we use this. We drew a 5. We drew a 2. On a 1 to 2, there's no action. So he just hangs out there. That's what he did last turn in this phase. He just hung out there. Now, this was the second one to be resolved, but we resolved it as a combat, not as a enemy thing. Now, he was pinned. He was pinned, and so we're going to resolve him under pinned also. He was not under cover either. So now we have to, we got to draw a card for him. On number 5, he's a 4, pinned, not under cover. He rallies. We're going to pin him. We're going to take these guys off of here. We're going to consider him to be a, you know what I'm going to do? I think this was a, let me just take these guys off of here. He was the second, I believe. So now he's just out here. He's not pinned. So he rallies, and I think he actually rallied at 1.2, or might have been a card over here. So I think what I got confused with is I'm like, well, there's actually crosshairs on this one, or crossfire on this one, because fire's coming in from two different directions. There's crossfire on this one, and I think I just got confused and started going right into the combat resolution phase. Okay, so now spotters have a different chart. This is what they do. Pinned or fire team side, no. Good order with no fire missions remaining, no. Good order with fire missions remaining. Attempt to call for fire on a card in line of sight occupied by opposing units according to the following priority order. Card with spotter's target marker. It doesn't have a target marker. I don't know if I'm supposed to put one down. I haven't read that far in the rules yet. Card with opposing vehicle. Card with the most opposing steps. Closest card with opposing units. So card with the most opposing steps is going to be this one, right? There's 4 steps on here. There's 4 steps. There's 2 steps. There's 3 steps. There's 3 steps. So it's going to attempt to draw. It's going to attempt to call for fire on a card in its line of sight occupied by opposing units with the most steps. So we're going to draw 2 cards. We're going to look for the blast symbol. And we don't get one again. So these spotters just kind of bug in and out. So what happens then is because they don't find enemy spotters draw 2 cards to make subsequent calls for fire. If the attempt fails, the spotter is immediately removed from play. This has happened like 3 times. They just leave. So this guy's leaving again. So every time they try to call in fire, they don't get one of the blast symbols on the card, and they leave. There's still cover on here, and this guy is going to get fire is going to get resolved on this guy under a small arms and a crossfire. Unfortunately for him, he's not under cover. I'm going to take that card off of there. I wonder, I think fire still gets resolved on there. Let's check Jugal. In combat, is fire resolved? Is a VOF resolved, not resolved, on a friendly unit when the enemy unit has retreated off the card. Okay, this is from 2009. And I don't think I've been using the all pinned cards either. Once a friendly unit generates a PDF and VOF onto a card, it does not stop firing no matter who is or is not on the card as long as the ammo holds out. So if the enemy unit was on the card and leaves, fire is still being generated. If a friendly unit moves onto the card, the other friendly unit keeps firing. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so now we've resolved the enemy activity check segment. We did determine the order randomly. It was 1, 2, 3. Capture segment. Paralyzed units doesn't take prisoners. Enemy casualties, no. Retreat segment. Retreat any unpinned paralyzed team with a VOF marker, 1 card. That's a no. Let's see. Mutual combat. Fire mission update segment. Remove existing incomings. Like this one. There's only been one fire mission. There was a fire mission on this card, on this card, on this card. There's no follow-up fire mission because the German spotter can't spot to call down a second fire mission. Potential contact evaluation. Each card with a PC marker friendly unit draw the number of action cards. So we are no longer heavily engaged. We're back to engaged because that spotter that was on the card with our squad here has left. And so there's no the prerequisite for a heavily engaged would be a friendly and enemy card on this unit on the same card. So we're going to resolve PC markers in order 1, 2, randomly 1, 2, 3. So we're going to draw a card and see what comes out under the number 3. Number 3 is number 3. So we're going to resolve this PC marker, which is a B, and a B under engaged is 3 cards. So we're going to draw 3 cards and we're going to look for the word contact at the top here. 1, there it is. 2, 3. We have 2 contact cards. There's only 1 contact though. So we're resolving this one. So now we draw a card and we look at the 10, the number under the 10. And it is a 5. So now we come over here to the, we're coming over here to the enemy packages. And we're looking on a PCB, potential contact B trigger. And we're looking for a 5. A 5 to 6 is a 4. So the 4 package is a machine gun nest. in foxholes. Place a PDF, yes. Is it spotted? No. Place light machine gun team at max line of sight range as per the contact location table. And we're going to find out which way it's facing. We're going to draw another card. And we're going to look under, I believe it's under 3. So we got package number 4. And we are on row. We're on row 3. So this is 1, 2, 3. Row 3. So we're going to draw a card, and it's going to be either a 1, 2, or a 3. We're looking under the 3 to find out where it is. It is 3. That means it's going to be front right. So in the third column, a 3 is the front right. So that means that there's going to be a somewhere along this line right here, there's going to be a machine gun team in a whatever it said. We're going to flip this one over. It's going to be in this village. There's a machine gun nest right here in this village. It is not spotted. Machine gun. It's going to be a light machine gun. It is going to have a... So it's got to be... So the maximum line of sight for this is here, because this machine gun can see into all the adjacent cards. It couldn't be out here, though, because it wouldn't be able to see through the green border on this card to this card. And it has to open up fire on the unit that triggered the potential contact. So he's going to come over here. He is unspotted. He's unspotted. And we want to go back over here to look at more about what he is. He's a machine gun nest in foxholes. We got to pull some foxholes. And he puts down a VOF. So we're going to grab some cover foxholes. So he's in foxholes. And he's unspotted. And he's going to put down a VOF. Clone this one, bring this one up here. Spin it around. Clockwise, clockwise, clockwise. And this is going to go from being a small arms. This is from just from here. Now this one is getting a automatic weapons. As you can see here, the machine gun team has an automatic weapons at long range. So this is going to get made into a, did I already put that down? Yeah, I did. Okay, we're just going to delete this one then. Okay, so to summarize, we have a light machine gun in foxholes. We put the VOF and the PDF down. It is not spotted, and it's at maximum range on the right here. So now this has been resolved. Return that to the stack. So this guy is going to have a -1, -1, +2. So it's going to be, he's going to be drawing on the 0. Now, he also, he's firing down here. So that doesn't change. Now we have to draw another card and find out on this 1 or 2. It's a 2. So it's going to be this card right here. 1, 2. We're going to resolve this potential contact marker. And we're going to do that by, again, drawing. We're still on 1, 2, 3, 4. Um, we're still on engaged. And so engaged is 3 cards. So let's see what we find out with 3 cards. Again, looking for contact up here. There's 1, 2, 2, 3. No contact, but we do have to reshuffle. So no contact here. We're going to return that one to the stack, and then we're going to do this one. We're doing the same thing. We're drawing on 3. 1, contact, 2, and 3. So 2 out of 3. Again, we draw a card. We look under 10. It's an 8. So we're going to come over here to the German force packages. A B potential contact. An 8 out of 10 is a 7. That's another wandering squad. A maneuvering squad. So now we're going to find out where it is. Left front, right front, or left front, direct in front, or right front. And the way we do that is we draw a card, and we're going to look on, column are we in? We're in column 2, column 1. So we're looking in column 1. I'm pretty sure I resolved this one correctly. Yeah, it's column 3. This one was not, there was no contact. So we're looking at column 1. We're going to be drawing a card and looking under the number 5. Okay, under the number 5 is a 2. So that is column 1. Number 2 is directly in front. So there's a wandering squad basically wandering around right in front of my guys here. But he could be at a longer line of sight. So we're going to try to resolve that. So column 1, under 5 was a 2. And so he's directly in front. So it's going to be a squad. We're going to use this one. Oh. Now a couple of these have actually been, that's why I need, this is great. I think I need to keep track of that over here, like on the, I need to keep track of that over here on the experience tracker. Maybe on the fire missions tracker. And just put down, what units I'm pulling, because I'm just going to grab this one because I've actually pulled, the first one I pulled was this one. And then I think I pulled this one over here. So I'm just going to pull this one. They're all the same, basically. Well, I guess they're not. So let's draw a random card 1 and 2. We'll draw a card 1. We're going to look on 2 and see which one it is. 1 or 2? It's 2. So it's actually this guy here, which is better for us, actually. So let's see where he is. He's directly in front, which means we've got to grab another terrain. I put the terrain down here. I'm glad I allowed for some more cards to be put up here. So this guy's also on a farm, but he is he's exposed. I've drawn this enemy package now 3 times. 3 or 4 times. That's what this is over here. This was an enemy package, just guys wandering around. They're exposed. Um, we can put our PDF down because we see them, but they don't see us apparently. We're going to go counterclockwise, counterclockwise. So he doesn't see us until the end of the turn. He's not undercover. Squad mark exposed. No. He is spotted. Place at max line of sight of triggering unit as per the contact location table. So, um, he is. This is the max line of sight for the unit. It's long range unit, but again, we wouldn't pull another. Well, I guess we could pull another card and see if maybe we get a hill. See if it's out here on a hill. And I guess I could have done that for this one also. See if these guys were on a hill. He's not. But um, yeah, if we drew a hill out here, then we would draw another card to put on top of there, and then they might have line of sight from here because they're long range unit. The long range is 2 cards, so they would have line of sight if they were on a hill over this village and then down into the farm here. So, okay, that is potential contact. What time is it? I'm going to leave in about half an hour. I'm going to take a quick break and I'll be right back. Thanks for watching. Okay, I am back. Thanks for giving me a break. Just had to run upstairs and do a couple of things. Check on the weather a little bit. I think I might have a couple of Biscoff. Favorite biscuit. It's a speculous is the I believe the term for this kind of biscuit. And they are delicious, especially with coffee. I don't have coffee. I still have the rest of my Shakeology. But anyway, I think my main issue with the game, not issue in the sense of issue like I'm having issues with the game. My main issue with the game when I have issues is I don't follow the sequence of play like I should. I skip over stuff. I skip phases like this last time. I'm doing the enemy activity check and I wind up starting up the combat segment without even checking potential contacts or anything. So I mean, it's just, you know, that's my issue is I need to follow this thing. Um, I just have to follow it. I just have to follow it. See, there are no incomings on the board. Those are all removed. Now I'll have to remember since I since I did the combat before, I skipped over it. I reset it to what it should be. These guys are pinned. These guys in the enemy activity segment, they rallied. I moved the incoming markers. There's no pending markers to flip over. We already did the potential contact evaluation. We have pinned recovery. Remove pinned markers from any vehicle or infantry units that are not under a VOF marker. They're under a VOF marker. They had their pin removed as part of the their activity phase. Don't have any other pinned units. Oh, these guys are pinned. Okay, so they're not under a VOF. So they get their pin marker removed. They're in cover. They're exposed but not pinned. They're not exposed. Exposed but not pinned. He's neither exposed or pinned. So he is exposed. He gets a small arms on him. He gets a small arms on him. Oh, wait. Okay, that's a machine gun. I was going to say, is that another mortar spotter? Because if it is, I got to put a -3 incoming on here. It's not. So, check for change of status, small and large fires. We're going to turn NCMs, draw an action card, determines fire is effective. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do the combat phase. The way we do that is we start from left to right. We go left to right, top to bottom to get things resolved. So the first one we're going to resolve is this one. This is they are a +0, -2, +2, So there, we're going to draw a card and look under the 0. We're going to look under this column here, and we're going to look for the 0 result. And it is a hit. So now we draw another card to find out the result of the hit. This is a line unit. There's 3 possible veterancies: veteran, line, and green. This is a line unit, and so it is, we're drawing under this area of the card. So this is a result of a, let's see, it's a P and an F. So a PF is, one step is paralyzed. This is a 3-step unit. One step is paralyzed, and one step is a fire team. We do that over here. We click a PF. And a hit result always results in a pin. So all the units are pinned. One's paralyzed. We got 2 fire teams over here now. The fire teams at the end of the turn, they are going to realize that they're being shot at down here, and then they're going to restart returning fire, but that won't be until the end of the turn. So they, I guess, are no longer exposed, I guess, but since we resolved the fire. These guys are unspotted, so we can't do anything with them. The next card to be resolved is not this one. Not this one. We're looking for VOF markers. There's VOF markers on this card. A crossfire and a automatic weapons fire one from this card here. They are not undercover. So these are small arms fire into this card. These are all small arms here. This one is an automatic fire, so this one takes precedence on the VOF. So we have a -1 automatic fire. We have a -1 crossfire, because actually this card is getting hit now from 4 different directions. 1, 2, 3. Getting hit from 2 different directions is a crossfire. So we have -1, -2, +2, and so they are at a 0. So we're going to draw a card and see what the 0 result is on that one. It's a pin, which is a really good result for us. So he's pinned, which actually gives him a +1 if he's under fire next turn. We got to get it. We got to get orders over here to stop firing at this card. So the next one to be resolved is this one right here. We have, there's crossfire because the machine gun down here is shooting up here, and then these units are shooting up here. Again, these units here are small arms. Small arms. The machine gun is an automatic weapon. So the machine gun automatic weapon fire is the one that is the VOF that takes precedent, because small arms is a 0. So we got -1, -2, +1 is a -1. So we're going to draw for this squad here on -1. -1 is a hit. Again, they are a line. We're going to see what the result of the fire is. A 2 paralyzed. 2 steps are paralyzed. It is a PP. And again, a pin. Paralyzed. Paralyzed. Now the paralyzed means not that they're physically paralyzed. They are paralyzed psychologically. They have frozen. They are basically frozen. They can't do anything. They're paralyzed with fear. And then, so two of the three steps became paralyzed. This squad here, this fire team, one step became a fire team. And that was at a -1. Okay, I got a few minutes left. Now, we're looking at this card here. He's pinned. The VOF is just nothing. The pinned is +1. He's on a card with +1, not in cover. So he's a +2. A +2 is a pin. He's already pinned. He stays pinned. That guy's been pinned forever. Go down to the next row. We have fire over here, a -1. These guys are exposed. They're taking fire from what was this automatic weapon here, but it's all considered simultaneous. So we don't change anything. Nothing's changed until the next phase. You can see here, do not adjust VOF or PDF markers until 3.8, which is the cleanup phase. So, all the fire that is entering this card is across this green line here. And so they get the +2 cover. They're both under cover. So they're both going to be a +1. No, they're both going to be on 0. They're both exposed. So that's -1 plus -2 is -3. They're both exposed. They're both under cover. So they get +2 +3. So -3 +3 is 0. So we're going to draw randomly to see which one we do first. We don't have to. I think it just says it's simultaneous. But we will randomly just in case. So we're going to draw 2. And the first one is the sergeant. We're drawing on a 0. He is hit. He is hit. And that was on the -1. -2 is -3. +1 +2. It's on the 0. It is a hit. And what happens to him? He is paralyzed. That is not good for us because he cannot give orders. He is still undercover, but he cannot give any orders. And so basically he is paralyzed. Okay, we're going to draw for the squad. The squad we draw, and it's going to be on 0, and it is a pin. So they are pinned. So this is not a good result. I got to figure out how to get him unparalyzed on the next turn. So that is the resolution of that row. We don't have any volume of fires down here. We don't have any here. So we go into the cleanup phase, remove pyrotechnic smoke, illumination exposed, move fired, concentrated fire, booby trap, grenade, and grenade miss markers. So we do click on the cleanup phase and it will remove all of those, all of these markers. Evacuate casualties from cars designated for casualty evacuation. Enemies firing at cars without valid targets. Shift ceasefire. If a defensive mission, remove any unresolved PC markers. Reset these. Reset mine markers and adjust VOF, PDF, and activity levels as a result. So we are down to the cleanup phase. We're going to click here on cleanup, and it's going to remove these. Actually, I think the combat actually removed those exposed markers as part of the combat. So they're no longer exposed over here. They're no longer exposed over here. I believe now this is where these guys actually will, they now see that they're being fired upon from here. And so they will go ahead and start firing back. Now let's adjust here. There's still fire going in here. We're going to try to tell these guys to stop firing. But my third platoon, I don't know how I reconstitute him from here. So I wonder if I go miss, if he comes back. I don't know. I don't know how to get them back. I'd have to go up to what platoon was he? He was second platoon. So I'd have to come up here. Leaders. Core units. Yeah, I'd have to come up here and I'd have to grab another second platoon if I can get him reconstituted. No, where's second platoon? Second platoon right here. Was he second platoon? Yeah, because third platoon's down here. First platoon's over here. Okay, yeah, he was second platoon. So if I can get him reconstituted, what's the difference again? There's a difference in. Can't believe it. I went upstairs. I put this back on, and now I've gone through this whole thing. I can't believe that. That's my other problem. I go away for a second. I come back, and I put the full screen camera up here to say, hey, I'm back. Thanks for giving me a break, all that stuff. And then I forget to set it back to the camera. Oh, brother. I don't know if this streaming thing is going to work for me. I know people have mercy on me because I know sometimes people in my stream will say, don't worry about it. I think sometimes they just, maybe people are watching me. Maybe they think that my voice is soothing and it puts them to sleep. So that's why they watch me. So they don't care about any of this stuff. They're just like, this guy just puts me to sleep. That's great. Better than melatonin. So resolve the cards. This squad that was found up here, one unit got paralyzed. The other unit turned into a fire team. So the third step also became a fire team, and they're both pinned under a because the unit was exposed, so they were at a 0, -2, and +2 under a small arms fire. So they're at a 0. They got hit, and this is what happened to them. These guys aren't spotted. These guys will not go under they're going to go under a VOF now because actually they're going to go under a all pinned at this point. Nothing here to resolve. This one got resolved where the squad, thankfully, they were at a -2 +2. They were at a 0. They got pinned. This squad over here that had just been reconstituted, we brought him back because we made a mistake. Basically the same effect. Actually, I think it was worse effect. He was at a -1, -2 for crossfire, +1 for the woods, and he was not exposed, but he was at a -1. He got hit, and then his result was 2 paralyzed steps. So now he's only an assault fire team up here. This one was pinned. It stayed pinned. My guys down here, there was the second platoon leader, HQ. He got hit, and now he's a paralyzed unit, 1 step, and he's pinned. The squad only got pinned, but now their leader's gone. So I have to figure out how to try to get that leader back. If I can somehow, snap him out of it. And then that was it. That was all the combat resolution. So that's what you missed. That's my nice little recap right there. So just going through and see if I needed to update any more PDFs. This is still incoming here. I got to get these guys out of here, or I've got to tell these guys to stop firing in there. I don't have a leader here now to tell them to stop firing. Maybe I can send my CO. I'm probably going to send my CO up here. There's still automatic fire coming down this way. At close range. We've got this. We do have this PDF up here. Yeah. So I lost my leader over here. So that, I think I already clicked on cleanup. That was the end of the cleanup phase. We adjusted VOF, PDF, and activity level markers. So now we have to come up here. Start back up here. And we are going to go to the command display. We're going to move this up to game turn 7. And we're going to move all these guys up here. Got a lot of orders. I'm not sure what's going to happen to the orders from my second platoon, because he is no longer with us as far as I know. Got to move him over here. So I might have to have the company HQ come up here and start running this show over here. Okay, resolved. This one was resolved with no contact. These two had contact, being this and this. We got to try to spot this enemy here. We're on turn 7. There's 4 turns left. So we pretty much already captured the attack position right here. We've pretty much captured our first objective. So now we have to capture this last objective that has a automatic weapons fire on it, and this machine gun team that is potentially light machine gun team that is potentially going to control this card also. So yeah, two things for me. I get ahead of the sequence of play because I'm not, after I do something, I need to refocus back to the sequence of play. I need to refocus back to it and then do something. And then like every couple minutes, I should be checking the sequence of play. Make sure, even though I think I might be doing it right, I need to stop and I need to check it. The other thing is I need to, and I've been streaming for a while, and I do this kind of, sadly, I do it kind of regularly where I don't have my camera in the right screen. So I need to slow down basically. I just need to slow down. I mean, I need to slow down. I'm trying to get done with this. I've got to go pick up my daughter. Did my alarm go off? I'm gonna sign off, guys. I gotta leave to pick up my daughter in a couple of minutes, probably around 3-ish. Um, so I am going to head out. Let's go ahead and save the game as go start of turn 7. I'll need my glasses to see this. Start of turn 7. Right there. Then check again to make sure that that save is there. There's turn 7. Okay. And then we're going to close. And that's going to do it. I don't feel too terribly bad about skipping the rules. I did go back and try to fix it the best that I could. And actually, even though I had my full screen camera up and not the desktop capture to show the game, you did see how I did suffer a casualty with my second platoon HQ. So I'm not doing things like undercover and trying to dodge things or spoof you guys into thinking that no, everything happened the way it happened, the cards that I drew. And I don't feel too bad because I know there's another player that comes into the stream and he's also playing this. He or she is also playing this. And they are also playing this on VASSAL. And they've told me they make mistakes too. They're, missing some of the rules and they're not interpreting the rule correctly or whatever. That's what I'm trying to do, a deep dive into the rule on almost every single question that I get. And with 92 pages of rules, there's a lot of questions. A lot of questions come up. How do I do this? How do I do this? Sometimes you can find it fairly easy in the manual, and sometimes you got to go to Google. Or sometimes you might find it in the training manual. Might answer your question there. So, so I don't feel too bad. Like I said, I'm not having the full screen camera up and then doing stuff in the game to try to spoof you guys, and say, this enemy unit got hit and it's got two paralyzed steps now and then one good order step. No, I'm doing it the way that it comes up, and that's why I had that HQ get paralyzed. But yeah, I got to slow down and press the buttons and be more deliberate. I have to be more deliberate. So that's what I'm going to try to do. And if you're in the stream or if you just come in and watch, say you're a VOD watcher, you're watching this later today or whatever, and you see me doing stuff like that, send me a message on X or send me a message on YouTube when I post this up on YouTube. Biff, slow down, be more deliberate, take a deep breath. So I'm gonna sign off as I like to do, because I got to get going as I like to do. I'm gonna do my usual outro. Wherever you are in the wide world, whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, or night, put yourself in a position to be blessed and be blessed. And we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.